right?
No, did he fairly get that because the NDC pulled out of the election before 10
So
a.m.?
okay, so I guess this is what he got.
But did the voters also pull out?
They announced officially that they are not taking part of the
but
election.
maybe the
I mean,
voters did it
but
because
we all know that that time it didn't make sense for you to say that you're out of an election when you are in the election because your name will not be removed from the ballot. Yes,
Of course,
automatically.
but if you have told your agents not to show up, and of course we know that after the national chairman made that announcement, the national organizer Joshua Kamba actually asked his party members to come out and vote. He also asked the party agents to stay at some of the polling stations.
Yeah.
So it's not every polling station that did not have an NDC. That did not have
But my problem is that the result of polling agents does not necessarily mean that I'll not go and vote in the election for the party.
But can you measure the effect it had on the perception of party members? That's the point. So
Okay.
we are saying that yes,
I think that
5,000 votes with a pinch of salt. We have to say that.
So you want to say that we can't say that in the previous election the gap was 5,000. In this election the gap is almost 7,000, and that Mr. DKB's gap keeps on increasing. Is that what you want to say?
What I'm saying is that the NDC pulled out of the election. That's his factual.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, 5,299 votes representing 30.37%. The other issue that came up, apart from the shooting, was also the fact that there was a very, very low voter turnout, 19.83%. So 88,710 names on the voter register. Only 17,000 showed up, and there were 88 rejected votes, and so 17,501 votes that were accepted. Now, we know that at about 9:10 in the morning, and we broke that story yesterday, there was a shooting, sporadic gunshots at the Baalishi residence of the parliamentary aspirant of the NDC, which then led to the NDC pulling out of the election. So that's about it. We know that there's 6 people with varying degrees of gunshots. We know that they're fine in the hospital, they're recovering, and Lydia has won pretty much. So I don't know.
But I found the finder and the Ghanaian Times reporting that 18 people are wounded.
Yes.
Sorry.
So go ahead.
Yes, and this is the first reports that were made to the Legon Hospital and other facilities. You know, someone also referred to 37 in this particular case. So immediately happened. 18, according to the final, reported to the hospital.
Yeah.
The 18 were treated. So when the police, that's the argument you are getting now. Mm-hmm. When the police got the final figure, the people who are still left in the hospital is the 6 or 7 that they are quoting.
And it also means that the 12 people were not really,
yes.
It wasn't like gunshot wounds or anything.
So, but they were discharged in the course of the day. So you couldn't have said that they were still there.
They were still there.
So taking from the police and getting the Legon Hospital's reports, the police was writing, put out that figure. Indeed, it's also true that the number could have been way higher than that because there's evidence that a higher number reported to the hospitals, but some of them were discharged immediately.
I remember when Maxwell was reporting on Joy News Today yesterday, and that's on the midday news bulletin on Joy News, which I was hosting. He mentioned that after the 6 people were inside, when he went to see the 6 people inside, he saw that another group of people had come outside. Mm-hmm. Now, remember, when Roland was reporting here on the morning show yesterday, he mentioned these persons with NSC mark shirts. We still don't know if they are policemen or they are not.
Yeah.
They were also carrying small axes, and they were brutalizing the people, the NDC activists and sympathizers there with these other weapons. So we know that it couldn't have only been, gunshots, wounds that were being treated. And so 18 people is still a huge number.
Yeah, but let me tell you what the Kodio said about the people we are talking about. The statement from them says some non-uniform security operatives display lack of understanding of the electoral rules and regulations at the prisons, JHS at Roman Ridge. For instance, security operatives who claimed to be national security operatives positioned themselves next to polling officials, and when a station uniform police officer alerted them to move away from poll officials, a pickup full of many more of the so-called security operatives descended on the police officer and attacked him for doing legitimate work. There is also, I'm sure by now we've all seen it, some form of statement from the UNDP condemning Ayawaso by-elections.
I have that here.
Yeah.
It says the UNDP has been following the ongoing by-election in the Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency in the Greater Accra region with keen interest, as this is a further illustration of the democratic process that is embedded in Ghana. Our attention has been drawn to media reports of violence in a shooting incident by unidentified armed men at the Labaoleshi Presby JHS polling station during the by-election, leading to the injury of at least 6 people. We strongly condemn such impunity and brazen acts of violence which undermine Ghana's hard-earned democracy and peace. It goes on, and it's signed by Ms. Gita Welch. She's a resident representative of the United Nations Development Program, UNDP. They are not the only ones who have been speaking. Former President Mahama has also been speaking. SamaJOyOnline.com. The headline alone worries me. NDC will meet NPP boot for boot in 2020. Mahama reacts to election violence. Let's hear Mr. Mahama.
I just want to sound a caution that NDC has revolutionary roots, and that when it comes to unleashing violence, nobody can beat us in unleashing violence.
Please, I for this statement. I don't think Mr. Mahama did well in speaking like this. I mean, we can also fight. We can also fight back. I don't think it's I don't know. I think a former president speaking like this,
by and large,
it's like we have condoning what is happening.
We have come to accept that you can't trust politicians when political power is at stake. That's for the record. 2, it is also pretty clear that those in the NDC are afraid. They are afraid that going into the next election, you don't know which other grouping will come up in the name of security connected or linked to the police or any of the state situations. It is incumbent on this government to assure every Ghanaian that they are safe, be it electoral times or other times. And that's important because the responsibility for protection of the state is not left to the opposition.
But for
is that of the current state. But of course, he has a constituency to suit anyway.
No, but for a you see, because you're a former president, so you are not you are not a party foot soldier or a serial or a communicator. You get it? You're a former president. There's a certain respect attached to that office. So for you to say that we have revolutionary roots and we will meet you, but I mean, come on, it's not right. It's not right. I don't know what you guys think, but anyway, let's move on to other stories. One major story that came up was the former Maslock boss being charged 80 charges on one woman.
Yes, we know that Monday should be dragged to court, and the crux of the engagement is that all of these 80 charges are related to causing financial loss to the state and predominantly stealing. As in bold, plain stealing.
Thievery.
Yes. And causing loss to public property, improper payment of public funds, unauthorized commitment resulting in financial obligation for government, money laundering, and contravention of the Public Procurement Act. So all of them put together is what she's been dealt with. There's one very funny one, and funny not because we are not only losing. See, let me narrate one incident to you. Do you know what happened? Now, the state is saying that we went to do investment as in Sedinam Ationu Tamaklo took Ghana's money, 500,000, went and invested that amount of money in one financial firm, Obatampa, and demanded 24% as in interest. Then the people said, no, we can't pay you 24%. So they
gave her the check back.
They wrote a check to her so that they would actually clear the money. But she said she was not comfortable with the clearing system within Maslock. So they should bring her cash. Now, somewhere around the Spitzer Batuna also, yes. Brilliant. They met her with Gama's go back full of the 500,000. She took the money, put it in there, what they call it, boot, drove off. Interestingly, weeks later, she wrote to the the Obatapa company, and they had written to them on several occasions, insisting, so the allegation for the state is that she wrote to the Obatapa company, taking receipt of the money and tell that this is what's supposed to be the evidence that you have paid me this money. Now, the firm Maslock kept on writing to the company, and the people were worried that why are you asking them for interest when we have given the money to your CEO already? Now, apparently, the CEO is now disclaiming when she went to Yoko because she was invited and charged. Yeah. She's been on bail all through. Yeah. When she went to Yoko on this stealing charge, she said the signature doesn't belong to her.
One time.
The signature on
it wasn't me. It couldn't have been me because clearly I didn't take the money. So we can't find 500,000 Ghana cedis.
But Raymond, we also can't find there was the 1.7 million for the sensitization project, and they only spent 1,300 Ghana cedis.
No, but this is serious. This is state money.
We're not laughing because it's funny. We're laughing
because it's ridiculous. If this really happened the way it's supposed to happen, this is like not even junior common room things. This is like a JHS person managing cash.
The really sad one is the fire. There was money that was given for the Kantamanto market women and the fire, and she did not disperse the money. I mean, that's just even wickedness. Allegedly. That's just wickedness because people have lost so much.
No,
You're giving them money.
Let's allow the dust to settle. Let's allow the court processes to go on, guys,
And
so
then
that we
we
can
can-
fully
then we can
understand
get
what
annoyed.
happened.
We
because
fully understand what
We
happened.
fully understand what happened.
No, you see, you understand.
As whether the
one
case will be
side
proven
of what
because
happened.
no, I told it her side that she had not said
What
the
about
signature
the
is not on.
market fires? What about the 1.7 million turning into 2,300? I'm just saying, let's cool heads. Really.
In that same way, we should be cool and calm and wait for Mahama to come and defend what he said about the violence and food soldiers.
That's such a pot shot. That's such a pot shot.
It's not.
Okay, Josephine Santos, the late Josephine Santos driver and houseboy are in court.
Okay, yes. So the driver was the one. So the driver went with.
I still insist that was a low blow.
I still insist that it wasn't.
Go ahead.
But yes, moving on.
I support you.
I know. I feel your support.
Please move on.
Thank you very much. Raymond, that's
Anyone?
Chill. Okay, so this is what happened. The driver was with Mrs. Josephine Asante coming home the night that she was killed, and he got down at some point to go home. So in the morning when they couldn't get into her room, her son and the houseboy, they called the driver. So the driver is actually the one who came, found the keys, and then opened and found it. So he was the complainant. He's the one who actually said, "Oh, this is what has happened to my boss." Now, in an interesting turn of events, he has now been remanded in custody as well. They're not actually saying why he has become a suspect, but we know that both the driver and the houseboy are in custody. Also, we know that a sperm sample and other DNA samples were asked for from the houseboy, but we know that test hasn't been done, and so the case has been adjourned to February 14th. That's in 2 weeks, and hopefully at that point some of these tests would have been done so that we can corroborate what's been going on.
Right. Raymond, the privatization of ECG operations, is it starting today?
No, it's been deferred. This is because we understand the people say there are some operational difficulties with transfer of assets, which has to happen within the space you're looking at. We have not been given a new date yet, but we all know that Miracle, in the new name in Ghana as a registered company, is the one, yes, supposed to be taking charge of ECG now. I've said here before, ECG is virtually being partitioned into two. There's a grouping, original ECG, which is made of some workers too, which is going to oversee the work of this Miracle team, and the Miracle team is basically going to take charge of the end game, being how power is sold to you and how they receive the monies in this case. We've been going back and forth on this. This is part of the Millennium Challenge account. Almost, is it 500 million from the US in the development of energy in that particular sector. Workers fought it. They were opposed to this decision. They had to reach some compromise along the line. And the government was insistent on doing this, but this is where we are. We hope this does not result in, as people are alleging in this case, higher fuel prices, electricity price, tariffs for the ordinary person. We hope it actually results in lower electricity tariffs because that's the only use. Yes,
and less doom.
Yeah. I thought.
But is there doom?
Well, apparently there is in some places. Some places are having localized. Yes.
But when localized is consistent, how do you call it?
I don't know the name for it.
Okay. So the impact on society is important, and how it's going to be dealt with is also relevant.
Right. Thanks, guys. The online news review coming up now is brought to you by Zenith Bank in your best interest and Goyle Good Energy. It's a new year. It's still good energy with Goyle, your reliable energy partner. Enhancing your energy performance and prolonging the life expectancy of your vehicle should be a top priority. So continue to get the best quality and value for money from Goyle Super XP and Diesel XP fuels. And there's a trusted range of lubricants, from our 360 service stations across the country. To all our valued customers, we say thank you. We value our partnership with you. Because of you, we are still number one, still CIMG Petroleum Company of the Year. Let's continue the partnership to build our economy. Goyle Good Energy, Goyle Yenaraedia, Goyle Proudly Ghanaian. Now pay and apply for your Ghanaian passport the easy way with your Zenith Bank card. You just log on to mfa.gov.gh, select passports, follow the prompts and pay with your Zenith Visa or MasterCard. Payment reflects real time. Now that's what we call service. Pay your passport application fee the easy way with your Zenith Bank card today. Zenith Bank in your best interest. Now, myjoyonline.com says US applies visa sanctions on Ghana. Interesting one there. BBC.com says Sudan's Omar al-Bashir mocks Facebook protesters. We're going to take these messages and go for the BBC News at 7 after that.
I'm just saying that a gentle reminder that the Joy FM Lovers Dinner and Dance tickets are available at the front desk. If you're interested, it's the 14th of February at the Kempinski Gold Coast Hotel, 800 CDs for a couple. And also, Kids Olympics starts this Saturday. If you haven't sent your form, kids at myjoyonline.com. This Saturday is the track and field event. It's at LWAC. And so, yes, no, it's not tomorrow. It's 9th. So it's next week Saturday. Next week Saturday. And we're closing registration next week Wednesday. So you still have a few days more to do that. So if you're interested, then do that and we'll see you there.
All right. See you guys there. We'll take these messages. We'll be back shortly.